time live since it became August. Look at the year going by. I can't believe we're on the 8th month already. If you're tuning in for the first time, please like, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, like and follow me on Facebook and follow me on Instagram, so that you can keep updated whenever I go live or whenever I share any information or news relating to immigration. And keep in mind, today as the last day, was it today or tomorrow? I think tomorrow is the last day to enter. It might be today or tomorrow to enter to win a school supplies giveaway. So if you have a young child going to school that needs a backpack, a lunchbox, water bottle, books, markers, Sharpies, and school supplies, definitely enter for a chance to win one of the backpacks. Today, let me introduce myself again. So my name is 𝐂𝐢𝐭𝐢𝐳𝐞. I'm an immigration attorney. I represent clients all over the United States with a family immigration matter. My phone number here is 407-995-6562. You can also send a WhatsApp message. 404-333-8751 if you want somebody to give you a call back. So comment in the box. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Good morning, Albert on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know where you are. Like I said, I'm in sunny Florida. So today I want to talk about how to become a U.S. citizen and the process of doing this. So a lot of people have this misconception that once I'm a green card holder, it's going to be easy to become a U.S. citizen and file a petition. No big deal. But honestly, becoming a U.S. citizen is one of the most difficult tasks when you compare all the different things that you're going through, like either getting your green card, getting your conditional green card removed, because citizenship is the ultimate goal, of everyone. And that is where you need to be really airtight. It's funny because it appears to be one of the simplest forms to fill out. However, the level of investigation and background check is so much more for you as a citizen than it is as a green card holder. And so a lot of people are just so disappointed when they go and then they end up getting denied, or they ends up being a good moral character issue, which basically starts the clock again. And you have to wait 5 years basically for you to apply. Hi, Albert from Panama City. Thanks for tuning in. Chandel says, good morning, beautiful lady of God. Thank you. Good morning to you as well. So let's talk about the basic requirements for citizenship. So in order to file for citizenship in the United States, you have to already be a green card holder. There are a few exceptions because, there are always exceptions to certain things. You have to be a green card holder. Majority of green card holders are not going to be eligible for citizenship until 5 years of having a green card. There are some exceptions where you become eligible after 3 years of marriage, 3 years of having your green card. So if you are still in marital union, when you at the 3-year mark of your marriage, and at the 3-year mark of your green card, you can file for citizenship at that time. Let me talk about marital union because this throws a lot of people off. You and your spouse have to be in continuous matrimony, meaning living together. So, a lot of times, when, it's not necessarily a requirement for cohabitation. If, let's say, you're filing a marriage-based green card, but when you're filing for a naturalization to become a U.S. citizen, based on marriage, you must be in marital union with your spouse. There are no exceptions to it. Hi, Takoa on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in. So there are no exceptions to that. So that's number one. So the other exception when you can file for citizenship after the 3-year mark is if you get your green card based on having an abusive spouse or an extremely cruel spouse. So if you were approved for VAWA, or if they removed your conditional green card based on an abusive spouse or an abusive, so in that case, and basically based on abuse, you will be able to become a U.S. citizen, at the 3-year mark, or at least apply for it. Everybody else, you have to wait 5 years. Okay. So what are some of the critical requirements? So the first requirement is that you cannot owe taxes. You cannot owe the IRS taxes. You cannot say, oh, you know what? I owe the IRS taxes. I'm going to file my naturalization and then I'm going to go pay taxes. You know what's going to happen? The USCIS is going to look at that and say, well, you were never planning to pay your taxes. You only paid your taxes because you were filing for naturalization. So that makes you not somebody they consider to have good moral character. So pay your taxes. If your taxes are so much where maybe you can't pay everything instantly, what you need to do is set up a payment plan. Set up a payment plan. They have all these payment plans that last for like 5 years or whatever, and pay the minimum that you can afford. But, it's something so little as that can cost you your citizenship and then restarts the clock of 5 years if you're not paying your taxes. The other thing, and this applies to most of the time, men, is you cannot have back child support. Or if you're the woman and you owe child support to your husband or your ex-husband or your baby's father or your baby's mother, basically, if you are responsible for child support, you must pay your child support. Again, do not go down trying to fix it when you apply for your green card, for your naturalization, because then they're going to say you're only doing it for naturalization, but the entire time you've not done it. So you want to make sure that you're paying your child support, or if you're not and you're ready for citizenship, you better find a way to make an arrangement and start doing it before you put in your application. Okay. And then if you're a male and you're between the ages of 18 to 26, you must be registered for selective service. If you were a green card holder within that period, if you were not a green card holder within that period and you got your green card when you were 30, then it doesn't really matter. There's certain exceptions. But if you're between the ages of 18 and 26, they want you to register for selective service. And for those of you who don't know what selective service just basically is where you're basically saying that you're willing to take arms for the United States if they should call you for service. Like, let's say there's a war. It's not saying they're going to call you for a war. It's just saying that if it came to that and they had run out of, military people, that you as a civilian is willing to take arms to defend, the Constitution of the United States, essentially. So, you want to register for that. The other thing is, before you apply, you want to make sure that wherever you live, you've lived there for at least 3 months before you put in the application. And then this final one is a biggie. It's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's a biggie. It's a biggie. If you have any criminal records, you want to make sure that whatever crime that you have is not a crime of moral turpitude. I'm going to pause and talk about crime of moral turpitude for a second, and specifically talking about drugs and things like marijuana. So granted, marijuana is legal in certain states, or whatever it is, but please let me make it clear, if nobody has ever made it clear, in the world of immigration to the United States, it is illegal. So do yourself a favor, just don't do it. At least get your citizenship before you get caught, smoking weed, or you get caught with, more than 30 grams of weed, or, whatever else you're doing, because those are crimes of moral turpitude. And not only are they crimes of moral turpitude, those are actually deportable offenses where you can get deported. So you want to make sure. And so the period or the window that they look at is a 5-year window for good moral character. So what that means is when they're looking at things that you may have done. So let's say you have something that is not a crime of moral turpitude. I'm looking for something simple like, harassment or something like that. I'm just picking a random thing, like you harassed somebody and, they arrested you and you came out and, you weren't, you didn't go to jail, you didn't go to prison, the crime was not punishable by any time. You just go like a probation or something like that. What they're going to be looking at is when did that happen? So they're going to be looking back 5 years to make sure that it happened more than 5 years ago. And in that 5 years, when you apply for citizenship, that you are of good moral character. Now, even though I say 5 years, there are, like I was saying, with immigration, there are always exceptions to the rules. There are times where they will look further back, depending on what it is. So basically, the long and short of this is stay out of trouble. Just stay out of trouble as much as you can if you're filing for citizenship. And not only because you're filing for citizenship, but if you have a crime of moral turpitude, you could get deported. With your green card status. There's so many people who get arrested and go to jail for crimes, and in prison for more than a year. And once they come out, they're deported. The famous person that I always use because everybody can relate or knows that is, what's his name? Joe Giudice from Real Housewives of New Jersey. Yeah, guys, I watch Real Housewives. That's one of my guilty pleasures when I need to clear my brain. So basically, the story behind this guy is that, he and his wife committed IRS tax fraud, and he was arrested for almost 3 to 4 years. This man has lived in the United States since he was 2 years old. He was a green card holder. His wife was a U.S. citizen. All children were U.S. citizens. His parents are U.S. citizens. But he never thought it was important enough for him to become a U.S. citizen. He just never did it because, for some people, they're like, well, I'm a green card holder, whatever. I'll just keep renewing it. And guess what happened? He had this arrest, he went to prison, and then he was deported. And now he can't be with his family. He has 4 daughters. So if you are in that position where you're a green card holder and you have the ability to become a U.S. citizen, get your U.S. citizenship. There's no pro or con to it. There are only pros. Just get your U.S. citizenship, not just because you want to be fully immersed into this country as a U.S. citizen that doesn't have to worry about crimes of moral turpitude and anything, having them take your green card away, but also because you want to have a voice, right, in your elections. You want to have a voice in voting and making decisions, not only on a federal level, in your local governments and all those types of things, So that's my spiel on how to become a U.S. citizen. I'm going to scroll through and answer some of your questions. So Romel from YouTube says, hi, Aisha, good morning. I filed a vow petition in 2018. I filed the I-360 and my I-485 together, and my I-360 has been approved. Yay, that is awesome. So it was approved in June. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So the next thing is 2 things could happen. They could either schedule you for an interview, and they will send you a notice for your interview, or they could bypass your interview. And if they don't have an updated medical, they will ask you for the updated medical. We're actually seeing some people being bypassed for the interview. It just depends on, I don't know the method or the reason why they may bypass people for interviews, but that's what to expect. And don't be surprised if it takes a couple of months. There's a backlog with everything right now. So it could take a couple of months before they schedule you or you hear about your adjustment of status part. But being approved for VAWA is excellent. And I know you probably got, if you didn't already, get the work permit related to the VAWA approval, which is wonderful, and hopefully deferred action. So just be patient, and I'm sure you'll get what you need. So McDonald's is from Washington State. Thank you for tuning in. I gave your number to my friend. She's going to call you office. Thank you so much. Thank y'all for your referrals. I always appreciate them. Let me see if we have anything on Instagram. Instagram, you guys are quiet today. Dorothy says, good morning, Aisha. Watching from Orlando. Hey, you're like my neighbor. Takoa says, great information. Thanks, girl, for tuning in. Let's see. Do you guys have any other questions for me before I jump off? Let's see. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody's questions. Okay, so this is going to be a short one because I don't see any other questions. Let me make sure. Yeah, I don't see any other questions. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try and be on here tomorrow. Let me just check my calendar. This week has been crazy for me, guys. I know you guys have missed me coming in super early. So yeah, I'm going to try and be on tomorrow between 9 a.m. to 9:15. So if you come in around that window, you can catch me live. If I didn't get to answer your question today, if you're watching this as a replay, definitely come on tomorrow and I'll try to answer your questions. I'm always live on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. On the other days, I try to go live somewhere between 9 to 9:15 a.m., just somewhere around there. So that's why you need to like, subscribe, and follow me so that once I go live, you get a notification. All right, guys, have a wonderful hump day. All right, take care.